Hey, everybody. Welcome to Office Hours. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining me. Welcome. Our Thrive Hive, howdy from Tennessee. Vancouver, Washington, Terry, great to see you. First meeting here, awesome. Great to have you here. Alvin says, no, we had an interview with Sean, the owner of Go HighLevel. Yeah, so this last week was Thanksgiving as well, and did some traveling over Thanksgiving, so we did not have our normal office hours, but as Alvin mentioned, we did have a call with Sean, CEO of HighLevel, which was fantastic. Always great to hear from him. And now we are back on our regularly scheduled programming. So I hope you're doing well. For those of you in the United States or anybody who celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you had a great one and enjoyed the week. And let's see here. Hey, Kurt, good to see you. Greetings from St. Lucia. What's the live vid link? Would love to come on my show face and ask some questions. Yeah, hold on one second. I will get that to you. Welcome, everybody. Great to see you here. Happy Friday. Let's see here. Before we get cooking, I'm going to do a shameless plug real quick. I'm sure everybody that is in this community is aware, but HighLevel is having their big annual sales. They do a Black Friday sale and a Cyber Week sale. So if you can take advantage of that, I highly recommend it because you can save a decent amount of money during this sale. 50% off, I believe, is the deal for new accounts, for sure. 50% off on the first few months of service. And then if you have a current account, the deal that you get is based on your account. So your current account status. So depending on which account you currently have, they're going to customize the deal for you. And it just is automatically created and shows up when you hit their, button, if you will, link to go see your deal inside of your account. So let me just go ahead and share. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let me just go ahead and share the links here real quick. If you are a new customer to HighLevel and you want to check out the deals, you can use that link right there, labspecial.com, Cyber Week 2. It is in the chat there. So you can grab that link, click on that link to see the full details of that deal. And then if you are an existing customer, and I should go ahead and put that note here in the comments, existing customers, you can use this link to see your deal, Cyber Week 1. So existing, Cyber Week 1, new customers, Cyber Week 2, existing, Cyber Week 1, new Cyber Week 2. Okay, so check those out. It's a great opportunity to save some money. If you can save some money and get the same thing, you should save some money. So if it's a good fit for you, go ahead. Either way, if you were to use one of my links, whether it was to sign up for a new account or to upgrade your account, you will get access to all of my bonuses. You can see the details of that at servicesthatscale.com/HighLevel bonus. And I should note that we are doing a nice upgrade of our bonus right now. There's a couple of things to that to stress. One, we're rolling out a bunch of new training around AI in terms of how you can productize and offer AI as a service through HighLevel. And I should say offer AI. I want to be real clear. I'm not suggesting that people become an AI agency. What I am suggesting is that you are still a marketing systems provider. That's my approach to things. But that AI is a core part of what you're going to offer. And there's just no reason that, and maybe I should just say there are too many damn good reasons to make sure that you are incorporating AI into your service offer and your service delivery at this point. It's just really, really powerful, compelling stuff, and is going to be very profitable for both you and your customers. So we're putting together a lot of training around that, sales and marketing materials, website templates, all that good stuff to help you be able to make that transition to really incorporating AI into your business as quickly as possible. And then the other major thing that we are adding to our bonus is that we are launching a done with you service where we will help ensure that you get everything set up correctly to be able to go out and just market and sell and grow. So in other words, your website, your sales funnels, all the workflows related to that, all the campaigns related to that, making sure that you just have your account structured properly in HighLevel, everything set up correctly, and making sure that you have your service packages set up correctly, priced correctly, and giving you sales and marketing materials to really take advantage of all of that. Again, it is a done with you service, which means that my team is essentially, to a large degree, we're just going to make sure that we set up everything for you. But we stress the done with you part because, man, one of the things that drives me crazy is when you see people pitching to new entrepreneurs that we're just going to, set up your whole business for you. And that is incorrect. Nobody is going to set up your business for you. They may set up your website and your workflows and things like that, but your business can only be set up by you, the entrepreneur who takes ownership of that. And anybody who tries to convince you that there's just these, real shortcuts to building a business is really doing you a disservice. So I want to make sure that you understand when I say done with you, that means that you are going to be involved working with my team so that you are learning about HighLevel and about these services that we're helping you put together and offer as we are building these things, because we very much believe around here in the teach a man to fish philosophy. Okay. So it does not do you any good if we just set up a bunch of stuff for you and then there you go. You didn't learn anything, but gosh darn it, you have a website now. So good luck. We're not interested in that. We're interested in actually helping you. And so it is done with you in that you are going to be involved in that process. Kirk asks, what does that cost? Well, here's the best part. Right now, if you are a customer of HighLevel through us at either the $297 or the $497 plan, we are going to make that available to you at no cost, no additional cost. It's just going to be part of the bonus, and we get compensated, through commissions from HighLevel, and we're going to make that work. Okay. So we're really trying to make this as value add as we possibly can. If you are at the $97 level, there is going to be a cost to that. We will roll out that cost structure here just like in the next week. And I will tell you, it will be very affordable for what we're doing. We're doing our best. I mean, obviously, if we're making it free at $297 and $497, we're doing our very best to make this just as absolutely affordable as everybody, to everybody that we can. So even at that $97 level, it's going to be very affordable. We just need to charge some because, just honestly, the commissions at the $97 level do not provide enough compensation for everything that we're doing for us to, come out ahead anytime in the next year. So we've got a little bit of an upfront fee there, but it's going to be a little bit, and I will finalize that and get the details out here, like I said, within the next week. So we're doing everything we can, like I said, to pack it with as much value as we can. And I hope that that will, be a nice boost to as many of you as possible to get to revenue generation as fast as possible. That's the whole point with everything that we're doing there. We want to get you past the point of we're sitting around thinking about being in business and thinking about how we should structure our packages and hoping that we get our website done this month and all that stuff, we're going to take you right through that as fast as humanly possible to get to the point where your responsibility is now just to go out and sell and deliver services. So that is the offer. That's the plan of attack. And oh, that's great, David. That's fantastic. Where do you sign up? It's freaking awesome. I need it. So David, if you look inside of our community, you're going to find details posted in there. I'm going to email out details to you as well here very shortly. And we will have a whole sign up process in there to get you going. Okay. I'll gladly be the first guinea pig. That's awesome. We've already had some guinea pigs through the program, so you don't have to be the first. We did that here over the last couple of months. Everything went great, and we learned a ton, and we're fired up to roll it out to as many people as we can. Okay. So again, I hope you can take advantage of that. And again, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity just to do that brief plug. Cyber Week 2 for new high-level customers, labspecial.com/Cyber Week 2. That's for new customers. For existing customers, labspecial.com/Cyber Week 1. You can also look at the emails that I've sent over the last week. Those contain those links as well. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Let's get on with the show. Office hours, if you have never attended before, this is pure Q&A. I don't have any agenda for you. I don't have any organized training or anything like that. So I just want to help as much as I can. So any questions that you have, please fire them into the comments. And as well, I'm going to go ahead and post the link here for anybody who would like to come on camera and chat with me. And in particular, if you have any questions that are longer, more complex, need more context, conversation, maybe you need to screen share, any of that, please use that link. It looks like this, and you can jump on board. Okay. So getting a CSP right now, but need help deciding. I don't even know what a CSP is, Dream of Mike. So help me out. But I'll help if I can. All right. Michael's entered the studio.
Yo. What's up, brother?
How you living?
Good, dude.
Good.
So I'll get straight into it, man. I don't want to take too much of your time here, brother.
No,
so a CSP is a customer success platform. So we're coming to a scale right now where we have 13 CSMs, right?
Okay.
So we've got we booked a one-on-one with you as well, by the way, like for I don't know, it's like Wednesday or something like that, kind of me. But
yeah, awesome.
Yeah. I figured I'd come on, ask just a couple of things really quickly before that.
Cool.
So yeah, we basically have a ton of CSMs right now. We have a lot of churn. Like this month is between 12 and 15%. We're trying to get it down to 5. Hence
Customer
why I hired
churn or employee churn?
Client churn.
Client
employee
churn.
Churn is we basically don't have any of that.
Okay.
So yeah, brought on 7 new CSMs to basically handle the amount of clients that we have, because I've realized that there's not enough client attention, basically, right?
Yep.
But that being said, for that we basically need a CSP to a customer success platform to have full tracking on everything. For okay, are people showing up to launch calls and shit like that? What's the customer health index and stuff like just advanced tracking. So I wanted to ask you, because I know you've ran a bunch of companies, sold a bunch of them and so forth, if you've ever come to that stage where you needed one.
I mean, I would say for sure that I was at a point where I needed one. But what you're describing didn't exist when I needed it. So we just kind of had to do stuff a little bit more the old-fashioned way. That being said, we were very, very proactive about it, and I think progressive about it. And so I think there's probably some lessons learned that apply. So if there's anything specific I can answer about, any questions that you have about how to take advantage of it or anything like that, maybe I can do that. But I would just tell you what we did that I think is really, really important. Just a handful of things that I can share. One, in our case, we still, it was a CRM. We were using a CRM, but the CRM was industry specific, and it was really designed to track a lot of the issues that our customers have really well, and some of that service experience around those issues. So I had a huge banner on my office that I printed up that said, if it's not in the CRM, it didn't happen. And I made it very clear, very regularly to all my employees that a large part of the value of my business is the data that I have. It's, who are my customers? What are we doing for them? How have we helped them? Like, all of that increases the value of my business dramatically when it's captured and known. And so I told my employees, if you are not logging everything in the CRM, I consider that stealing from the company, and it's a fireable offense. And I'll only give you one warning. And so if there was any laziness about capturing notes about, hey, I had this conversation with the customer, here's what we did for them, here's what the customer needs next, I've scheduled this next phone call. If there was any laziness about that, I would fire people. I would consider it like I said, stealing from the company. So that was very, very clear to everybody. And I reminded them frequently. And there's huge benefit to that, because in a service business, it's very easy for service to be done and not be accounted for or tracked really at all.
Yeah.
Somebody just decides, I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes doing something for a customer, but then nobody knows about that. Like, it's not captured anywhere. There's no good data or information about it. So whatever system it is that you decide to use, I think it's incredibly important that you make the requirement to use it so crystal clear that nobody can waffle on it. Because anytime you introduce a new system, people love to, you're just giving us another thing that we have to use now, and it's a pain in the neck. And they will fight you. They will actively fight you on adopting it. And so you've just got to make sure that it's absolutely clear, like, hey, this is the way we're going to operate, period, end of sentence. If you want to keep your job, then you're going to do it. The other thing that I think is really, really important that we did, and actually two more things. One is we tracked a customer service score. We use Net Promoter Score, which, if you're not familiar with that, it's the only survey metric I would use. One quick question, and it's the same question every damn time, so you can track it over time to see how it's changed. We use that after every single interaction. So we did all of our tech support remotely over the internet, and we used a remote control tool so that we could take over their computer, do work on the computer. And at the end of that session, it would pop up a little Net Promoter Score survey. And so every single interaction, and we were doing thousands of interactions a month, we were getting a Net Promoter Score so that we could track how happy people were literally minute by minute with our service. We could see how satisfied they were with our service, like minute by minute. So that way, if something was off, we could see it right away and know, okay, the account manager for that account better reach out proactively, figure out what we screwed up, and figure out how to make it right. So anywhere that you can with that CSP platform, anywhere that you can bake in just super frequent survey information collection, to find out how people are feeling about your service, I would absolutely do that.
Okay.
And just keep it so brief and easy that people there's no reason to say no to it. It's like, Net Promoter Score, again, it's just such a simple thing. And then the last thing that I would say, and whether or not you can do this through a platform like that, or you need to do it manually, we always had to do it manually, but it wasn't that hard. We have our daily scorecard. Our daily scorecard was all the key metrics of our business that we tracked. So as an example, we got a lot of inbound phone calls. For me, the rule was that the phone shouldn't ring more than twice. So we would track, using our phone system, how many calls had more than 2 rings. And then we would track how many of the tech support issues were resolved on the first call, because first call resolution is a huge factor in satisfaction, right? So we would track all these metrics. Everybody on our team was responsible for tracking 3 metrics daily. So that way, with all the metrics that we tracked, which there was like 50 of them, everybody in the team was participating. They knew that, hey, it's my job to collect that metric. I have to log into the phone system, grab that, put it in the spreadsheet before the end of the day. So everybody was involved. So everybody was very aware of the metrics. And we would look at that every single day as a team. First thing that we did in the morning, we had a 5-minute huddle with the team, and we'd say, hey, everybody, yesterday our customer service scores dropped by 10% and our hold times went up. And, so we got to pounce on that today. So here's what we're doing to make sure that we're on top of that today. Just quick communication to make sure that people were always very aware of how we were doing and taking care of the customers. So those 3 things, like making sure that people are using the system, finding ways to get feedback from the system as quickly as possible and efficiently as possible, and then making sure that your team are active participants in understanding the data and understanding here's why we're doing this shit. It's not just to make our maniacal bosses happy by giving them more reports. It's we're actually trying to improve what we're doing, and that they can actually see that and impact that every day so that they feel like they have a sense of ownership. So
yeah,
whatever systems you use, those are just the 3, I would say, best practices that we learn.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm basically trying to implement right now, because we're missing it. And at the scale we're at, it's like I need something because I can't just like put it together anymore, or it's become like way too complex.
Yeah.
So one other thing perhaps is like, how did you manage like client communication? Because the way that we do it right now, it's like people will email us, people will text us, people will just try to call us. Like we're working with contractors, right? Home service businesses. So like a much older demographic, untech savvy, been like, not the sharpest tools in the shed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like the easiest way that we found for them to communicate with us and so forth.
Yep.
And it's not like going terribly or whatever, but I feel like it's very, very inefficient in that sense. Yeah. So I'm like, but I don't know what I could possibly switch it to that these guys could actually adopt.
Yeah.
To have like a clear cut, like, hey, look, like I basically need like a better system for my employees to know what the fuck is going on, like communication wise, so that I can really dial in on that, because it is one factor that is massively lacking right now and that I'm also actively trying to fix, which a CSP will kind of help with, but not like not 100%.
And so you're talking about just internal communication
with clients, not between employees.
Okay.
Employee with client.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's always just been a combination of email and phone calls, really. Okay. And on those phone calls, we would try and get them on a Zoom type of thing. So it was a screen share and we could actually get FaceTime with them on video camera as much as possible. I think for some businesses that's appropriate, others it's not. But those are always really the 2 forms of communication that we've used. And I think one of the most important things is just on those calls, just making them scheduled in advance and stressing the importance to your customers in a polite way of being at the call. When we say we're going to be at the call, being on time and showing up for it and stuff like that. Those are always just the things that we've done. I do think, and actually I should say one other thing that we have done that I think is very helpful is if you have some sort of shared portal where your team can leave notes to the customer in an organized way so that the customer can then log in and see them on their own time. So it can be asynchronous. So here's a log of the things that we did for you today, or that our team, discussed, or whatever it is. We need your input on these things. Like that way it's in a nice organized place, rather than email back and forth. Things can get lost pretty easily there. So that's the only other thing that I would say.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have that right now.
Yeah. And that can be as simple as just honestly, like we just did it with Google Sheets. I mean, with Google Docs, like we would just create a private Google Doc and just share it with them. And it was just like a log of our notes for them. So that
I feel like that's too complicated for them.
It could be.
Where's my link?
Yeah. Depending on your customer base, it could be confusing for them. Yeah.
I work with idiots, Mike. I work with idiots. Okay. Keep that in mind.
So yeah, you just have to. Yeah, you might have to experiment with that.
Okay. And one other quick question. All right. I promise it's the last one. All right. And then I'll let the other people. I'll let the other people
go. Good questions.
So I am building this business with Kai to sell, Kai thinks the shit is worthless. I'm like, brother, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's not. So, like, realistically, what could you like sell a business for like this if it's like at $1 million a month, where our customers are like $300 a month on average or whatever, or like that's like our entry thing basically. There's like some expansion and so forth, and we have proper data and systems. Like, what kind of a multiple can I expect on that when it's like because we sell Go HighLevel, right? I could make a custom like platform, like not custom, but like proprietary based on like GHL's API to build a better product. But like super ballpark, what do you think like that could like actually sell for? Because I need this man convicted so that he knows we need to fucking focus on this.
Yeah. So there's a big range. Okay.
Yeah.
And so let's just discuss how that range is determined. Okay. Because that will then help you hone in on where you should be in that range at any given time. Okay. Yeah. If I was just purely buying on a financial basis, so in other words, I'm Mike sitting around with a bunch of money in my pocket and I'm just trying to get return on that money. And I want that return to be better than what I could expect just in the stock market or bonds or whatever. Then I could go buy a company that is generating profits and extract those profits in exchange for what I pay for the company. So if you think that people invest in the stock market expecting somewhere around 10, 12% annual returns, sometimes historically it's done much better than that, sometimes it's done much worse, but somewhere around in that number, then if they're going to invest in a private company, that's considered significantly riskier than buying stocks. And so they're going to want a premium on that return. So let's say that 20% would be the minimum benchmark. So that means if I spent 5 times your net earnings, so if you profited $1 million, then I would invest up to $5 million to buy your company, because I would expect that each year now I'm getting a 20% return. I'm getting $1 million on the $5 million. That's 20% that I'm getting back on my money. Okay. So that's like the very low end that you should ever expect, to sell for, or somebody to pay for, or whatever, right? I mean, obviously if somebody can pay less than that, they will, but you'd be foolish to sell for less than that.
So lowest end is 5x multiple of your profit.
Of profit. I mean, like I said, this is all ranges, but let's just say that that's a bottom end of the range. Now, I say that, and the reason why I go, and I'm kind of wishy-washy on it, is because if somebody is listening to this right now, and you have a $375,000 a year business, and you're dropping 20% to the bottom line, that's a far riskier and less valuable business than what you're talking about if you're doing $1 million a month. Yeah. Right. So as an investor, everything that I'm willing to pay is going to go down, 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 down. Yeah. So the size of the business that you get it to really matters. That's another major factor that I would say is going to determine your valuation. Anytime you get a business to over 10 million a year, you are entering into a new kind of status where the valuation of that business tends to go up kind of significantly. $10 million it tends to be where like private equity firms get interested. The smallest private equity firms start to get interested around $10 million. And so now you're getting people with more professional money. They've got portfolios of money to buy companies with. They're thinking more strategically. And so they're looking at your business and they're probably going, I could buy his, and I could buy that one, and I could buy that one, put them all together, and I'll have a $50 million business, and they're good, healthy businesses. Now I'm really onto something. So they're thinking about things in a different way. So the valuation that they're willing to spend tends to be higher. So the bigger you get that business, typically the higher the valuation will go. And then the other major factor is your growth. If you guys are growing fast, then a buyer will look at that and go, oh man, it's at 12 million this year, but I bet you next year it's at 16 million, then it's at 20 million, and then it's at 25 million. So we got a rocket here. So again, valuation goes up higher and higher. So once you get into those higher tiers, what people will start to evaluate it on just as much on profit is actually just on revenue and growth.
Yeah.
And they'll start to give you multiples of revenue and growth. And so that's why when you hear like software companies, they'll very often get like somewhere, I mean, even on the very low end, they'll get like 5 to 10 times their revenue in valuation. So $100 million company will get $1 billion unicorn, valuation, or even significantly more than that in today's world. Right now, investors are spending 15, 20 times revenue on some of these companies, especially if they're AI companies. So those numbers start to really go up. I would say in this spectrum of size of business that we're talking about, if you're a $5 million a year business, $10 million a year business, something like that, 1.5 to 2.5 times revenue would all be like really, really, I mean, that's a really strong valuation range somewhere in there. So you had a $5 million a year business and you sold it for 10. You had a $10 million a year business and you sold it for 20 or 25. Like those are really strong numbers.
Like as in like they're optimistic numbers, or what do you mean specifically?
No, not optimistic. It's just your business needs to be a legit, well-run, well-documented. Your numbers are clean. You can show somebody, hey, this is a business that's continuing to perform and improve and will be even more profitable in the years ahead. You can expect that realistically, and here's why. It just needs to be a solid business and a solid opportunity. So, but those numbers, the devil is always in the details. And so I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here, but what I believe can happen in this opportunity, or what I believe will happen in this industry very soon, and this is why I'm so bullish, and I hope so many people do exactly what you're doing, which, hey, let's grow as fast as we can, get as many customers as we can. If you look at the agency industry in serving small businesses, there has never been anybody who has scaled to any significant size. And that's because it's always been time and talent businesses. You've heard me rant about this many times, I'm sure, but it used to be a time and talent business where you're just selling, hey, I have Michael working for me. He's an awesome website designer. I pay him $75,000 a year. So that means I need to bill him out at $150 an hour to clients. And I try and sell as much of his time as I possibly can to make my business profitable. It's a shitty model when you're dealing with small businesses because they cannot afford to pay you enough, consistently enough to really make it work. So that's why there are no big agencies selling to small businesses. For the first time in the history of the industry, HighLevel has now created a whole army of agencies that are out there selling on what I call assets and automation instead. Our services are now more based on a software platform and the automation that we can bring to those businesses through that software platform instead of on time and talent. That means you can have a much more scalable, much more profitable business. The other thing is, because there are now thousands of agencies on the same platform, using the exact same platform with all their customers, it makes it infinitely easier for me, the private equity guy that I was referring to earlier, to come along and go, I'm going to buy 10 of these and put them all together. Because they're all using the exact same software platform to deliver the services. This is going to be so much easier for me to put 10 businesses together because they're all drinking the same Kool-Aid. They're all using the same software platform. They're all going to the same conference every year and sharing the same best practices. It's going to be infinitely easier for people to start consolidating the industry. And when they do that, the valuations are going to go higher and higher and higher because their opportunity is better and better and better. So will you have the opportunity, I think, Michael, over the next handful of years, if you do a really nice job, to get your valuations to a very high end of range of possibility? Yes, I absolutely believe that. I believe that that's a reality. So could you see something where the multiple is, on a is closer to software, to like pure like software like valuations. So could you get a 5 times multiple on revenue, not on earnings? Could you get something like that? Will we see that? Yeah. I have a very good friend who had a $4 million a year software business who sold it for 20 million. He then kept 20% of the equity in that business. So he sold 80% of it for 20 million. So right there, that's a super nice multiple. Turns out who he sold it to was a private equity firm that was doing exactly what I just described, packaging up a bunch of others. So he still had 20% of his business. When they packaged it all together, they ended up with a $100 million business. They refinanced it with debt, which means that he got another like $15 million check almost immediately, and then still had his percentage in the business. So then they grew the business for the next 3 years and then sold it again and ended up with like another $20 million check. So there's lots of possibilities there. Anytime you have a fast growth market that's based on something like software and AI, where there's consolidation possible, there's going to be major players looking at the space. And so some of those multiples can get pretty sexy.
Yeah. That's exactly what we're trying to do. And we are growing super fast. The only reason we're not pumping like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in ads is because we need to fix their fucking churn problem, bro.
Yeah, you got to that would be like if you came to me and tried to sell right now, I would go, well, yeah, great guys. It's awesome that you're growing so fast, but you're just spitting out customers on the other end.
Yeah.
So, how impressed I am as a potential buyer goes down, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not impressed with what you guys are doing. What you guys are doing is awesome. You just need to continue to really dial that in so that by the time you get to the point where you want to sell, you're as attractive as you can possibly be.
Yeah. Solid. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, Mike.
Absolutely.
I'll see you again.
You too.
I'll see you on Wednesday, I think. Wednesday. Bro.
Sounds great, bud. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Right. But you too. Bye-bye. Terry, my man, good to see you, sir.
Yo, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am learning to fish.
I love it. Good for you. How can I help?
So, I jumped up my budget on my Facebook ads last month and just like went way over the top on them.
Yeah.
And some of them did really like the last time I talked to you, I changed like one of my campaigns to the purpose of it to get just more clicks on my, just more views, and that worked, just by making it the right type of campaign. And I was spending like $15-$20 a day, and I was getting like, 50-60 views a day. And so after a month, I had 4 different ads running. So I just picked the one that was getting like the most clicks on the page. And now I'm running that, and I'm only spending, because I just dropped it the last couple of days. Now I'm only spending like $8 a day. And I'm getting, so instead of spending $20 a day, I'm spending like $5 to $8 a day. And I'm getting still more than half of the clicks. So should I make more ads based on that? Because that was the winner. Should I make more ads based on that? Try to get the clicks the clicks up, or should I maybe try a different type of ad?
So if I understand correctly, you're spending around 25 cents or so to get somebody to view whatever you're sending them to.
Yeah, the cost to get them to look is really low. It's like,
that's an attractive number in this space for sure. So, and hopefully it is then, getting results for you in the form of leads or whatever as well. But even if at those price points, I would just be continuing to run that thing until those numbers like really change. Like I would just let that ad run. If depending on your budget, you could, bump up that budget again a little bit more and just try and, let it get out to as many people as you can. while it's doing its thing effectively, because it does seem like it's doing it effectively. Then what I would suggest is this a content piece, Terry, or is it?
Well, so it's a Facebook ad. Yeah, it's just a content piece. But then on the other side, I was running a lead magnet ad, for the business guide.
Yeah.
And I pushed that. I was running it. That was like $40 a day, and I was getting like a 5% click rate. I mean, it was good, but over a month at $40, actually it was, say it averaged about $40 a day for a month. I got one click, one got downloaded, and I was like, okay, this sucks. So I've cut that down because on the other side, I just ran a reply cold campaign for a free website. And it just stopped. I sent out almost 2,000 emails in about a month from October 27th. And I got one out of 2,000, they scrubbed them. And I know they hit and I got one response which was basically, unsubscribe. So that's like 2,000 minus, right? That's a negative return.
Yeah. So welcome to cold email.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking maybe, the good news is I ran out 2,000 cold emails and I didn't get shut down. They all got, I know they got delivered. My bounce rate was like 1 or 2%. So that's good. And the problem may have been, were good leads. I mean, these were legitimate businesses, but most of them are legit. They already had websites. So it just might not have been a thing that comes. So anyway, my point is, so I'm thinking of like shutting down my lead magnet Facebook campaign and running the lead magnet with the guide back to those 2,000 people for the next month. And that's my question is, do you think that's the best use of those 2,000 leads on a cold email?
Yeah. So yes, let's talk about strategy here. I think this is very important for everybody to understand. If you are running a cold ad to a download of a guide or something like that to business owners, right? So Terry mentioned he was spending like $40 a day running this lead generation ad for a guide, a white paper, and here's how to use marketing systems to grow your business type of thing. You can expect that if you were sending that out cold, so in other words, you're not retargeting an audience that already knows you. I'm just running this to business owners in San Diego and just letting it fly. That is the hardest marketing that you're ever going to do. Well, the hardest marketing would be, hey, sign up for my services. Okay, that would be the hardest because you're actually getting somebody to open their wallet. The next hardest thing would be you don't know me, but click on this link and go give me your information to download my guide. That would be the next hardest thing. And then all the way on the other end of the spectrum in terms of easy things would be just consume my content. And there's even a spectrum there. The hardest of consume my content is click on this link, go out of the social media platform that you're in, go to my website and consume this content, versus actually posting the content as content right natively inside of LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, right? Posting lots of good content right there and saying, hey, you don't even have to leave Facebook or LinkedIn. Here's my content, read it. So anytime you're getting started, this is my whole prime the pump philosophy. Anytime you're getting started, it is much, much, much easier, especially if you're not real experienced in running paid ads, to do the easier stuff. And the easier stuff is, here's valuable content that demonstrates to you that I've got some valuable information for you. Just enjoy that content, right? That's all I'm asking, is that you click on this thing because you're interested in the topic and hopefully you enjoy this content. And the good news is now you have built an audience that you can retarget. Right? And so if you retarget that audience now with your download offer for your guide, I just muted you real quick, Terry, just because the background, I can hear, it sounds like a vacuum cleaner or something back there or whatever. So I just muted you real quick. But If I retarget the audience of people that have expressed interest in my content, I have a much, much higher likelihood of getting a response from those people because they now know something about me. They now know my brand. They're reading my content, right? And so they are much more likely to download a guide from me at some point. The other great thing about that is your budget for that lead generation ad is tiny now because you're only running it to a retargeting audience. So you could spend 10, 15 bucks a month and have that guide be being shown to everybody in that retargeting audience like every few days for the month for a really small budget. So what I recommend that everybody does, this is again my prime the pump strategy that's outlined in my training, is create a bunch of good content. Let's say it's 6 really good content pieces, 10 really good content pieces. Those could be blog posts. Those could be posts inside of Facebook and LinkedIn. Could be a video you record. All of those things are great. Give them small budgets, $5 a day, each of them, $5 a day, and run those to your audience and try and collect as many interested people as you can. Just try and get that content out into the world, adding as much value as you can so that you can build a retargetable audience of interested people as fast as you can. That's always going to be the cheapest traffic you're going to get. Like you were saying, you're getting 25-cent clicks on that stuff. That's awesome. So just keep doing that like crazy and then retarget that audience with those more direct response offers. That formula is much, much more effective, much more affordable, much easier to do without like a ton of advertising experience. Like it just is a much better and more realistic approach for the far majority of people. So that would be my recommendation, Terry. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. So there's a way I can go in here and retarget those people that are clicking on my website.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll figure that out.
Yeah. So if you, it's pretty simple to do, Terry. And let me make a note to myself. I can put a video in our membership area on how to create retargeting audiences.
Okay, cool. And then on the next cold email, the lead magnet with the guide, you think that would be a good run to?
It's a good one. I would honestly, if I was doing cold email today,
Mm-hmm.
I would do a more, I would do an approach of simply just trying to get a response from them first. So rather than just sending the guide, I would just try and make it very conversational. Hey, Terry, this is Mike with Super Duper Marketing. I know you're probably not familiar with me. I'm reaching out because we have done these great things for these types of businesses, or we do these great things for these types of businesses. And I think based on my understanding of your business, we might be able to really help you too. Would you be open to a brief conversation to learn more? And just ask them for a response, yes or no, right? That's it. Like, it's just simple. It's easy. It's conversational. It doesn't feel like you're being too pushy in my face, anything like that. You can send those out at really, really high volume. And I would just keep it simple like that. Anything that you're doing beyond that in that first interaction, anything that you're asking somebody to download something or anything like that, if I don't know who you are and you send me an email with a link to download something, there's a 0% chance I'm clicking on your link to download anything. Like, I don't know who you are. I just got spammed. Like the number one rule of protecting your computer and your finances and all that type of stuff is don't click on links from people you don't know. So if you send me a link for something like that in a cold email, 0% chance you're getting a response from it. Versus if you just send something that's just kind of conversational and just saying, hey, just want to know if you're interested in a brief chat or learning more, that you have a much higher chance of getting a response from it.
Okay. Yeah, cool. No, I'm going to do it. I'll let you know.
Awesome, man. And Terry, I can tell you, when we had thousands of IT service providers, that we were running cold outbound email for. And our most successful campaigns were always just these little one-liners where it was, you know, and I'll dig some of them up, but they were literally just like, you know, hey, Terry, do you have a few minutes for a quick chat? You know, and it was just like that, like literally just like the most brief, simple messages, because it doesn't feel like a marketing email. It feels like, yeah, I got a couple of minutes, or, you know, whatever. Like, it's just like, who is this? I feel like I'm supposed to respond in kind of it feels very familiar, right? It doesn't feel like Terry, the marketer, trying to knock down my door. Those were always our highest response campaigns.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, keep me posted.
I will. Thanks, Mike.
All right, thank you. All right, let me see here, guys. I see you in the studio there. Let me just check on the comments on the side here real quick, just to make sure I give some love over here. David makes a very, very good point. David, thank you for making this point, that churn can be reduced by proper onboarding. That is absolutely, onboarding is perhaps the most overlooked strategic opportunity to increase profits at your business, because David is absolutely right. If you do a good job with onboarding, you will keep customers for years. If you do a lousy job with onboarding, they will cancel in the next few months. I've seen it over and over and over again. The other really, really effective way to reduce churn is to have a better filter when you're selling. So we talked with Michael earlier, and he's like, you know, we're signing up customers so fast that we can barely keep up with it. I just had to hire 7 new people, right? There is a very, very real possibility that actually the best thing for him to do is to actually slow down those sales by applying a tighter filter, by doing a better job of qualifying those customers, so that he's only bringing people on that are really much more likely to stick, because that is the lowest cost opportunity, right? As soon as you bring them on as a customer and you're hiring more customer success managers because of it, and you're doing onboarding because of it, everything gets really expensive. I would much rather find out that they're not a good fit during the sales process and have the guts to say no than to find that out 30 days into it. That's a really expensive time to figure that out. Okay. So sales qualification and onboarding, 2 best opportunities to lock in customers and reduce that churn. Thank you for making that point, David. You, the agency owners, need to set the rules with clients. Text for contractors would be best because they don't pay attention. Start to adhere to one channel. Yeah, that's great advice, Matt. Buyers looking for a 2-year payback on invested capital, 1.3 to 1.6x reality. Just sold my agency. Be very careful and watch your churn. Nice, Matt. Congratulations. Kurt, good to see you, sir. New install. Should I wait till you give the all systems go and contact me to do the done with you launchpad, or do the install now and modify the sys later? Totally up to you, Kurt. I mean, it's easy for us at any point to come in and start from scratch, as long as you understand that's what we're doing. We're kind of setting up a new thing for you, and you may have to do the transition over to that new thing. I personally would never wait on making progress on my business because I'm waiting for some third-party thing. So I personally would just be go, 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 go. But also, you know, as soon as we can jump in and help you, we will, and hopefully you can take full advantage of it. Okay. Value add to get them to know, like, trust, and then ask for the sale. That's right. Bring them through that full sales process. Jason, good to see you, sir. How are you?
Hey, Mike, I just wanted to say thank you very much. I won't take a lot of your time. I just upgraded back on the first, and
nice.
And for anybody that's out there on the fence of that offer, I'm going to tell you, sign up. You'll be glad you did. Just the bonuses. I mean, I'm overwhelmed. I'm ADHD, and I'm like shiny object syndrome. Like, which one do I start on?
Yeah.
And so I was extremely happy. As a matter of fact, about 30 seconds before we came live, before you went live, I put in the moguls of basically that same thing. Is this old country boy's figured out I just need to completely start over and start with a fresh link. And then you said they're done with you. So that's the reason I'm like, I know you've tested it, obviously, but I'm like, I'll be that next guinea pig. And if this old country bumpkin can pull it off, anybody can.
Well, that's perfect. Well, that's a major part, Jason, I should say, of what we're trying to do with the reorganization of the bonus is to get you focused in on here's the handful of things we need to do right now, so you don't have to spend all your time learning everything, because we're not professional students, we're entrepreneurs, right? So let's get you focused on action mode. We can do all of that extra learning after we're making progress. So I hope that we can get you there as fast as possible.
Oh, I can already tell that's going to happen. And then perfectly, the first thing that you brought up was the fact that if it wasn't in the CRM, it didn't happen. And that's exactly where I'm at. Is I went back, of course, blue collar construction worker. I'm that old fogey he was talking about. The young gentleman was, and I comically said they might not be the sharpest tools in the shed, but they know how to use the sharpest tools in the shed.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
But because of a health issue, I was on a deployment to Iraq. Collapse was non-responsive. I had to start over and relearn again. So I definitely wasn't the sharpest tool. And I got into learning about AI, and that's my main passion, is setting up the group, the community, to help other people on the spectrum, other people with ADHD and other mental issues, to be able to get unstuck. And when they find themselves out of a job because of some of the things that's happened, how can they re-upskill? So that was my main concern, is getting the CRM back in place, so that when I do start making these contacts, just like yesterday, I was at a networking event, had 69 people with cards. And it's like, yeah, but if I put it into my system right now, I don't have the workflow set up properly. I don't have this. And that's what I say. So I'm going to be that one that's willing to stay back once I learn, and be that other one that's teaching the rest of the villagers how to fish from the beginning. And the only other thing I'm mad about you about is the fact that you do provide so much value. It's going to be hard for me as an affiliate to say, well, yeah, sign up for me, instead of saying, no, I'll just go sign up for Mike. You'll get a lot more out of it. But I appreciate it. I'll step off and let somebody with some questions ask you. Right, although you did make the young man happy with that last conversation about the sale.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you're on your feet and getting after it. And I hope that we can help. I love your purpose behind what you're doing. And I think that when you have a purpose like that, it fuels everything. So
appreciate it.
Awesome. Take care. Matt, good to see you, my man. How are you, sir?
Good. Thank you for doing these, by the way.
Absolutely.
I probably circle or satellite around this every couple of months. So I'm back. I think the last time you and I chatted was the summer. Mike V and Kai, the folks that you're talking about before with the contractor marketing, are absolute, killing it. And that's awesome. I wish them the best of luck with their ascension, but just amazing to see their transition into, now 200,000 or so of recurring revenue. And, for those of us who've been there, that's exactly his position. And that's exactly where I was a few years ago, after getting to 200,000 with lots of systems that need to be in place. And I'm glad that you're giving them some great advice. So I'm trying to help as best I can, sort of tidbits that I can share. But my question is completely different. So I'm in a different unique, as I mentioned, and I sold my agency. I had it, I think 230 or 240 was our peak per month. I sold it to my second in command, and for whatever intents and purposes, a couple of things have happened to her life, and the agency itself dropped from 200,000 plus to now under 60. And I went back and said, hey, if you're gonna do what I think you're gonna do, which is scuttle this, why don't you sell it back to me, and I'll take it on, and no harm, no foul, whatever. You get payment, and we all run.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, well, if I'm interested in that, why wouldn't I be interested in the general agency world, that I could go out and potentially say, hey, if you're between 30 to 50 or 60K, and you're interested in selling, maybe having someone who's been there before work with you, so I was thinking maybe that's the play. I've rebuilt my new agency up to about 40 grand, just by referrals and people coming to me because they know me. But, it might be a bigger step to hit that 7-figure next year by just saying, hey, if you want some guidance and you want me to help you and we could maybe do an acquisition, I certainly did well with putting the proceeds of that agency deployment into Plantier and AMD. So I'm not sitting on,
Nice.
nothing anymore. So it's interesting to think like maybe the real game is just, hey, where do you go? And what would you recommend for me to do to start these acquisition or partnership conversations in a more, let's just say, cohesive manner, instead of trying to go to a broker? And I've done that before, and it just never worked out for me, because the brokers are good in heart in their conversations, but from a dollars to donuts perspective, it really just never made sense to me. And I don't mean harm on any broker who maybe listen to this. It's just, for me, it never worked. And to tell you the truth, I can cash pay, anybody right now. So it's interesting that would be an interesting, quick turnaround. So just some quick, ideas that you might have where to get this out. I even thought about running a Facebook ad and saying, hey, XYZ. And that was my first indication. But it happened by accident. I wasn't even thinking about this until I found out that the previous purchaser had sort of decided not to, accelerate the company. And it was like, I was more sad than anything else. I'm like, damn, like this thing was at 200 grand when I left. What happened? But that's, again, it is all part of a DNA that, happens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I think, so first of all, yes, I think one of the reasons why I shared that private equity story that I shared earlier about my friend selling his business is that watching that whole thing really changed the way I think. When you see how a professional private equity firm looks at opportunities, you realize they just have a different lens oftentimes than the person who's got their head buried in building the business. And just by having that different lens, they can capitalize on the hard work of what the entrepreneur has already done at a different level than oftentimes the entrepreneur can. So I'm always trying to think both as an entrepreneur and as a private equity person now when I look at opportunities, because it's very easy for me to be in entrepreneur mode. But it's really strategically important to think like a private equity person thinks. And so, yes, today, if I were looking at this industry, and I did not have a business, but I had cash and I had experience, I would absolutely look for a business to buy, to use as my foundation to then build more and then add more purchases of additional businesses onto it, use it as a platform. And the reason why, just so everybody understands, is really just time and risk. The hardest part of launching a business is the launch. It is the first year to 18 months. It's pulling the train out of the station. Like, you got to get momentum, and getting momentum is the hard part. Once you have $2 million, $3 million, $5 million in revenue, it is much, much easier to kind of just sustain that and keep it moving forward, because you've got people, you've got systems, you've got cash, you've got all that stuff happening. So yes, I would absolutely look for a business to buy. And then personally, like how to find them, to me, it's just easy pickings, the HighLevel community. I would just go straight into the HighLevel community. I would do a post inside of the HighLevel Facebook group that says, hey, I'm an experienced agency owner. I had an exit. I'm now looking to buy, more agencies. Here's a just brief summary of the opportunity. If you would like to have a confidential conversation, if you have an agency that is already doing at least X thousands of dollars in recurring revenue, and you would like to have a confidential conversation, click here to go to a form to fill out my info. And we'll have a conversation. That's it. And I would post that in the HighLevel Facebook group, and then I would just keep having that conversation everywhere. I would go to all the networking events. I would go to HighLevel Summit and just be like, hey, yeah, here's what I'm doing. And, I'm interested in talking to people. You will not be the only person doing that, Matt, here very, very quickly. There's going to be plenty of people doing that. And I would absolutely pounce on that. And when you say, I thought about running Facebook ads, the way I found my first business to buy when I had my IT management company was Craigslist ads. I posted Craigslist ads in California, and within like a week, I had like 7 business owners that were interested in selling to me and ended up buying one. So, it doesn't have to be complicated. It certainly doesn't require a broker at all.
Yeah. And I thought about, literally, this is the first time I thought about it. I kind of was particularly against it because I wanted to rebuild this to a point where I said, look, I don't want to just go buy an agency. I actually want to build a team, have the team here, have our products ready, have a tested formula. Okay, we made it. We're there. And then I'm like, all right, well, maybe it might be time now that it's matured a bit. And I've actually not felt that this was something that was continuation of what I was doing before. This is a new agency, as opposed to sort of the similar models that we were using before, which I think were deadly. And that's why I was saying, be very careful of churn if you're trying to sell your business, because I learned the hard way, and my purchaser learned the very hard way what that really means, which is it can sink your ship. And it was certainly something when I was out selling my business before it got purchased, a big detriment. They looked at that and they said, well, normally.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm giving the 1.3 to 1.6, because that's kind of where I saw the most of the majority of people coming to me with their offer structures.
Yeah.
Anyways, I hope that helps and enlightens a few people into this world. And where's your next event, or where's your next thing being held?
I currently don't have anything planned. My expectation is that in the next year, I will probably be hosting or co-hosting or whatever it is, some of HighLevel's events in San Diego. Yep. And then I might be getting on the road to some of their events internationally, but I don't have anything set yet.
I just got an email from Paulson. He's going to come here and interview me on the 22nd. Nice. I figure, wouldn't that be a great time to already have this sale process baked in?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be.
All right, man. Thank you so much for having me on, and keep up your amazing work. I really appreciate it, and you're doing amazing service to the community. It's super helpful, and we all appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Best of luck to you. We'll be in touch soon.
I'm sure we'll see the next chapter soon.
Okay. Bye-bye. Let's see here. I'm Amistad Digital asking about one-on-one call with me. That's servicesthatscale.com/consulting. And I do not do very many of those. And so when you book, I will ask you, really like what this call is about, what you hope to get out of it, all that good stuff. Because if I don't believe that I can really help you, I don't want your money, and I don't want to spend time on calls. Honestly, I don't. I do everything that I can to avoid calls like the plague, just because they tie up my time from stuff I could be doing otherwise. So I only say that because I am not looking to sell a bunch of these, but that is where you would find that if you are interested. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why I do these calls, because it's a group context, and I'm happy to answer any question that you are comfortable asking right here, right now. So if it'll save you some money to ask your questions here in front of the group, I'm happy to do it. Okay. Let's see. Let me just check. Travis says, offering both an AI team package and a local presence package, website listings, GBP, social posting. What's the smartest long-term structure to branding and packaging, legal, trademarks, pack on local, keep under one parent brand, simply name the packages, or, no, absolutely just one brand. Yes. So Travis is asking, hey, I've got a couple of different types of services that I want to offer. Should I have different brands, different websites, all that type of stuff for these different types of services? No, absolutely not. Put it all under one brand and just have, just different pages and funnels or whatever for those different types of services. Yeah, do not overcomplicate or add more overhead to your life just because you think that separating out those brands is going to somehow give you like some big boost of clarity for your prospects. It's absolutely not. I think one of the most important people to listen to on this, Gary V. Gary V is just like, don't worry about name, don't worry about logo. All that matters is what are you getting in terms of, results for your customers and how actively you're out there marketing and what's your value proposition. Like that's all the stuff that matters. It's really not your name or your logo. Do those things have value at a certain point? Absolutely. But yeah, just keep it simple. You don't have time or budget or resources for more overhead at this stage. Okay. Yeah. Keep it super simple. One brand. All right. Any other questions? Let me know. Oh, with the do-it-yourself done with you Launchpad, are we talking days or months? Days. Yeah, Kurt. Yeah, I mean, if you're at that stage and you're thinking it's going to take you weeks, no, I would wait. We're gonna roll this out quickly, and we're gonna be aggressive about trying to get stuff done for people quickly. Okay. What's the difference from what we have with the AI employee versus the paid version? Does it matter on the usage to be on the paid version? I'm not sure. I mean, if you're using any AI employee, Alvin, it's paid. It's either paid on a variable basis or it's paid on a flat fee basis. So I'm not sure what you mean. Does it matter on the usage to be on the paid version? So if there's a $97 a month version of AI employee, that if you pay that $97 a month, you get unlimited AI usage. Okay. Yeah. If you do not pay that 97, then you're paying based on the usage. Oh, here we go. What's up, Alvin? Good to see you, sir.
I was like, I'm gonna jump in.
So am I answering what you're looking for? There's a $97 a month flat fee.
Yeah, you got the 97 flat fee. All right, so sell me on using your affiliate link to join to get the AI employee. From what we already have on the basic plan of HighLevel, I'm about to upgrade to the 3 months for the 50% off. But from what we have on the whatever trial side, sell me on the paid 97 a month. Is it worth it for me with one client?
Yeah, I mean, so the $97 a month, to be clear, you're talking about the $97 a month unlimited. Okay, so that is per client.
Okay.
So that's not, it's not like you're paying $97 a month and you're going to get to use AI unlimited across all of your clients.
Okay.
That's per client.
All
okay.
Right.
So I just want to make sure you understand that is if you sign up client number 1 and you want them to have unlimited access to AI use, it's $97 a month to be able to give them that. $97 a month to you in cost. So you would want to price that, let's say, at $297 a month to give them unlimited AI. Okay. So, and every customer, that would be the case.
Okay. Because right now we're basically paying per usage, correct?
Yes. If you're not on the $97 a month, you're paying per use for any AI tokens that you're burning with your service. Correct.
Okay. That makes sense. Now they cleared it up.
So it's just based on the customer, Alvin, right? As to whether or not the math makes sense for them and for you. So if you're using AI for chat and you're using AI for calls and they have a good amount of activity coming in, then they could be spending more on those AI credits than they would if they otherwise just signed up for a flat fee service with you. Right. Okay. So That's essentially the math that you're doing and that you're helping them do. So if they were spending $500 a month in AI credits with you, you could say to them, hey guys, sign up for my $297 a month unlimited AI, and you'd be saving money every month, like, and have an unlimited use. So just sign up for that. Right. So it's really just a math issue.
Okay. So it's just me. And I seen the promotion came up saying get 30 days free. But I barely get charged for using it now. Like basically I just got AI answering my phone. And that's about it. Doing the demos on a missed call text back. But other than that, there's really nothing major.
Yeah. I mean, you should be using AI for your chat for sure. So if you're not, I would absolutely do that.
Some of the chat widget?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I mean, I got the basics that I'm using, but I'm not incurring like I don't even think I'm spending $50 a month.
Yeah. Well, then I would just wait. I mean, it's just a math equation for you. I would just wait until you see your numbers start going over 97 a month. And when they go over 97 a month, just sign up for the flat fee.
Okay. I just thought it was some extra perks or something that came along with having the AI employed versus what we already have.
Well, you'll get access to, I mean, I'm assuming what you have right now is access to all of their AI. You're just paying for it on a variable basis. So that's the only thing. In terms of bonuses for me, you'll get access to all my bonuses, all my training material, everything on AI, all that. But if you already have that, then there's no additional perk to you for doing that right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking to join on your AI employee on the 97. I don't see the need right now, just because I just signed my first client. That's it. Yeah. So, and he's not really.
So wait, you don't have access to any of my bonus stuff right now?
When you say bonus, what you mean?
Access to high leverage agency, access to the
I got access to the membership platform. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you have access to high leverage agency? Because I've got all kinds of programs on my platform. Do you have access to high leverage agency?
I don't think so.
Well, then I would say the smartest thing that you could possibly do right now is to upgrade your $97 a month AI and get access to all my bonuses. And I mean, obviously, I'm saying that in a completely self-serving way, obviously, because I get benefit from that. But what you will then get is all my training on how to configure AI for your clients. You'll get all of our sales and marketing materials, all of our scripts. You get access to all of those things that are going to help you grow your business. And you'll essentially get it by paying an extra $30 a month versus what you're paying right now in AI credits. I would absolutely do that. That's just my opinion. Like I said, it's my self-serving opinion because I believe in my bonuses. You know, if I didn't believe in my bonuses, then that would So you have the high leverage agency.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about.
No, that is what I'm talking about. But you have access to it already. So then no, you can wait until the math serves you, and then upgrade.
Oh, most definitely. But I am about to go ahead and join the. I don't know where your link at on there, but join for the upgrade to the 297.
Yeah,
because they're offering it for
50% off for 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was somewhere in here, but yeah, I had just pulled it up. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely, absolutely. So but you have access to everything, and so good. Take advantage of all of that.
All right, cool. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for everything, Mike.
All right, bud. We'll talk to you soon.
All
right. Bye-bye. Let's see here. Training was worth the extra 200. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. David says, how do I do that? I'm in. I don't know what you're referring to on the how do you do that. Let's see. I want to sign up for SaaS Pro. How can I use your affiliate and sign up for the holiday promo? Oh, that's the link that I shared earlier. So I don't know if you're an existing customer. If you're an existing customer, use. Let me go back to my links. If you're an existing customer, use that, David. Click on, I don't know if it's a clickable link when you look in the comments right now or not. If not, obviously just type that in, labspecial.com/cyberweek2, and that will take you to HighLevel's presentation of the deal for you. I'm sorry, hold on. That's for a new customer. I can't remember if I said new or existing. Sorry. That's for a new customer. Okay. If you are an existing HighLevel customer, it's just Cyber Week 1. Okay. So if you're an existing HighLevel customer, it's Cyber Week 1. And what you do is make sure you're logged into HighLevel and then go into your browser, open up a new tab, click that, and it's going to look at your account and give you the best deal based on your existing account. Okay. So Cyber Week 1, if you're an existing HighLevel customer already, Cyber Week 2, if you are new to HighLevel. Okay, just labspecial.com/Cyber Week 1 or 2. Okay, hope that helps. And you can just, if you're on my email list, look at my emails. It'll have those links in there as well. Okay. The link didn't post the comment. Got it. Thank you. Yeah, so hopefully you can just type it in, labspecial.com/. How do you get access to my stuff? You'll get access to my stuff automatically when you upgrade. It will, HighLevel's affiliate system will tell our HighLevel that you're a customer, and we will automatically send you access to stuff. And if you have any problems with that, you just contact us and we'll sort it out. Okay. My biggest problem with my business, I'm getting really tired of advertising. It's a lot of headache at times. It's beautiful when it works, but new clients and dried out ads require lots of attention. Yes, that is absolutely true. Corey, I hear that. So Corey, when I had my e-commerce business, I was spending about $15,000 a day at times on Facebook ads. And that is a lot of headache. It is a lot of sitting at your computer and managing things, right? Part of the reason that I created my attention engine advertising system is that it just took away all of that complexity. And so, Corey, I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't recognize if you are in my programs, but if you are in High Leverage Agency, like we just talked about, you have access inside of there to my attention engine approach to advertising. And particularly if you are doing advertising just like to local businesses to sell agency services, you do not need the complexity of what I was doing with, an e-commerce business. You just need to simplify the heck out of that. So I hope that, perhaps that can help you. Thank you. I'm not in any of them, following you for almost 5 years though. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Corey. Well, you can still get access to the attention engine if you want, Corey, at very, very low cost. In fact, gosh, I'm trying to think like, do I offer that included in anything for free? I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't think I do, Corey. But man, if you just go to servicesthatscale.com/products, you can get the attention engine there. Let me just see real quick. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my products page. Where the heck is that? Oh yeah, local attention engine. So it's called local attention engine in this case because it is specifically focused on local advertising. So advertising to small businesses in your local market, not necessarily to, national. I do have an attention engine that's more of a national advertising as well, if that's something that you're interested in. But anyway, you can see it right here, local attention engine on my products page. It's listed at $297, Corey. If you email my team, I will get you a coupon to give you a discount on that as well. And that is, where's my, it's right there, help@servicesthatscale.com. If you just send an email there, I'll get you a discount on that package, on that program if you want it. So you can just get access just to the attention engine if that's what you need. Okay. And thank you though for your attention over 5 years. That's awesome, man. I appreciate it. When does the deal end? That's a great question. I'm not 100% sure when HighLevel's deal ends. Let me see if I can figure that out real quick for you. I don't think it's tonight. I think it's this weekend. But I am not 100% sure. Let me just see if I can see that. Yeah, it ends Sunday night, guys. Sunday night. So you got a couple days. Yep, there you go. Alvin, 2 days, 11 hours. Nice. So you're all set. All right, gang. We've been here an hour and a half. It doesn't look like there's any new questions in. So I'm going to go ahead and say happy Friday to you and have a great weekend. I hope that you got some value out of this call. I really always appreciate you being here, giving me your time and attention and being a part of my community. And I hope that, like I said, this was some value for you. And I hope that you can take it and get after it. Yes, wait, hold on. Go ahead, David. And I wish you the best here as we finish up the year. Obviously, it's an important time with the holidays and everything to spend some time with your family and your friends and loved ones and maybe get a little bit of relaxation in. But it is also the best time to make sure that you lock in growth in 2026, okay? If you can get some stuff done now, if you can lay a foundation now so that you hit the ground running January 1 or January 2, if you went out partying on New Year's Eve, so you can hit the ground running instead of, okay, January, I'm going to really turn this thing around and I'm going to start, right? And then you start building your website and then you start figuring out your sales and marketing approach and blah, 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 blah. And now it's the end of January before you actually get going. Man, it makes such a difference when you can lay some of that foundation this month and really get to work so that come January, you're ready to hit the ground running. So I would encourage you to, yes, make sure that you are spending time with friends, family, loved ones. And when you do that, be 100% present with them. But also when you can squeeze in some effort to get ahead and work on your goals for next year, this is a wonderful time to do it, okay? David says, can you quickly talk about how you charge setup fees and what you think is fair for websites and AI employee? Yes, absolutely. Okay, so David's a fellow San Diego guy. Awesome. So yeah, so, you know, what's fair is probably, I don't know if fair is the word that I think that we should use. I think what is realistic, you know, with small businesses, you're only going to get to charge so much in setup fees and so much in monthly fees and all of that, right? So if you said fair from a business perspective, let's just say that the setup was requiring hours of work from you. And let's say it's 4 hours, okay? If you were accounting for it in terms of that to determine fair, typically you need to bill 3 times your hourly rate to make it a profitable service, right? And so when I say your hourly rate, if the cost of whoever is doing that work is $50 an hour, when you include their pay and their benefits and everything like that, that would mean that you should be charging about $150 an hour for that work. So if they work 4 hours to do the setup for your customer, then that would be around $600, right? Now, what you actually charge versus what is fair from a business economics perspective, just purely based on cost, can be strategic, right? I mean, if I'm adding a ton of value to your business and I want to make it a super attractive offer, I could only charge $297 in startup fees, because then it's like, holy cow, I'm getting all this stuff for just $297. That's crazy. Like if I go talk to another agency down the street, they try and charge me thousands to do that work. So you could use that to make your service incredibly marketable, knowing that what you're really trying to do is lock in long-term customers, recurring revenue, right? So let's be very clear that the goal of this business model is to lock in recurring revenue for years to come. So anything that we do that stands in the way of getting those customers is generally not a good thing. I want to be as aggressive as I can about getting as much recurring revenue as I can. So a startup fee is going to slow down your sales volume, right? There are some customers that are just not going to pay that startup fee. And so they're going to say no to your services. You're going to lose that business. It just is what it is. But startup fees are also very important because they help you cover your costs of sales and marketing and acquiring those new customers. So some sort of balance there is very important. I love on the very low end services, like let's say it's you're setting up an AI chat for them. That's a service, and it's a $97 a month foot in the door service, or a website or something like that, where it's going to be a $97 a month hosting and all that. $297 as a low end startup fee. And then if I was doing more like a complete system for them, you know, $1,500, $1,900, $2,500, those ranges are all good startup fees. But I will tell you that I am always super aggressive about using those startup fees as a negotiation point rather than being concerned about actually collecting the cash. So again, my goal is to lock in as much recurring revenue for as long as I possibly can. So let's say that I present to you, David, that it's a $2,500 startup fee and then it's $397 a month. And you as a business owner go, ooh, $2,500 a month. I'm not sure, you know, whatever, right? You're haggling me on that. I say, no problem. We have a couple of things that we can do here. I understand that, you know, that can be expensive to come out of pocket. First thing that we could do is that we could lock you in for a 2-year agreement and we'll just waive 100% of that startup fee. So if you want to go ahead and commit to a 2-year agreement, startup fee is gone. Okay. So you could do that. So now you're using that to lock in a longer term arrangement, right? The other thing that you could do is, if you still want to collect some of that cash up front, is you could say, well, look, I can reduce that. I can't waive it completely. I mean, we have costs to set you up. So I can, you know, we're going to be building your website for you, setting up all these automations for you. I have a real cost to doing that. Instead of $2,500, I could drop that down to $1,000. And instead of $397 a month, we're going to bump up your monthly to $497 a month, right? To help cover that cost, but now you're paying for it over time. So using it as a negotiation piece like that is a really, really nice opportunity to extend your recurring revenue, or to grow your recurring revenue. Okay. But generally, like I said, somewhere in the $297 up to $2,500 for you know, for small businesses. That's usually kind of the range I'm in. Could you sell a more robust service, you know, where it's like, hey, we're setting up all these marketing systems and it's $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 in a startup fee? You absolutely could. Yes. You are going to limit yourself to a certain number and type of customer if you do that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just a different thing. Okay. So I hope that helps. Yes, lots of ways to peel a banana. That's right. I'm trying to transition to more SaaS-based clients instead of lead generation and the whole big thing. Yeah. Yeah. I hope that you make that transition, because it's a much better business model. You will love it. Charge $257 and then charge a subscription once the ads are up and running. Yeah, I mean, any setup fee that's, in the low hundreds of dollars, man, guys, that's such a small setup fee. Like, I understand small businesses will try and haggle with you on everything, and people are price sensitive, but man, I mean, $297, like, they'll spend that this weekend out on being an idiot right at the bars. So like, don't go crazy and thinking that you're, well, I just, that word that you used, fair, David, kind of triggered me because there's no moral issue here. And sometimes when you're selling to small businesses, they'll make you feel like it's a moral issue. Like, you're trying to charge me a setup fee or ripping me off, and I'm just a small business. Be nice to me. And, that's a bunch of BS. What are your 3 go-to monthly packages? Price point, AI voice. Oh, David, that's a lot to cover on this call here. But I just briefly, I like to have $97 foot in the doors, and then $297, $497 are my most common, then price points after that. And then depending on what all you want to offer for your clients and stuff, like a $697 as well are very attractive price points. And at $697 a month with small businesses, you can be offering everything that HighLevel has to offer, unlimited use, all that good stuff, and still be making really, really great margins. So I personally like to keep my price points lower, very attractive for keeping them on long-term, right? Anytime you get your price points anywhere near $1,000 a month or over $1,000 a month with most small businesses, like, that's something they're going to evaluate every month, right? They're going to look at it. Do I really need to be paying this? That's more than I'm paying for my car. I'd really like that new BMW. I could get that BMW instead of paying David every month, $297, $497. They're, I could get the Kia. And the Kia is not really as sexy as the BMW. And so I think I'm going to keep on paying David until I can afford the BMW. Oh yeah, that's the worst. Corey, man, early in my career, I was really there with you. Like, the psychology of money is a fascinating thing. And it really does mess up a lot of early stage entrepreneurs because you project your money psychology onto other people, and other people don't necessarily have that same money psychology as you. And also, I would say you got to just price your services properly, or you will never grow a real profitable business. Like, it's just the laws of business, right? So yeah, I'm glad that you doubled your prices. I had to do that twice in my first year of business. When I started my first business, I had to raise my prices, and I doubled or more than doubled them twice because I had screwed up my pricing so bad. Yes. Yes. Hey, that's Kenji. That's my daughter's cat, Kenji. Kenji, Kenji, Japanese. I believe it means like favored son. Dawson, I see you back there, man, but I have to run, buddy. I was just signing off, and then I ended up rambling more, but I got to go. So we're going to catch you on next week. Okay, bud? It's good to see you, though. And Corey, hang in there, man. I built my first business with 2 very young babies at home. I get it, dude. It is hard. Keep your head down. It will all pay off. All right, bud? Oh, we got to fix that, Corey. We got to fix that. Get into my damn program so I can help you more. But keep coming to these calls and ask questions, because we want to get you to 50K, 75K, 100K. All right? Awesome, everybody. Have a great weekend. I hope to see you on a future call. We'll talk real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.